don't want to put this back in the garage right now. And it doesn't want to go back in the garage right now. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, you join me in the American Icon, the 2006 Ford GT. I don't have a lot of miles in this car, but I can tell you it is a completely unique experience to almost anything you've ever driven. It doesn't feel like a kit car. The car is well made, but it's just so old school, even older than its time. I mean, a Gallardo, even a Carrera GT, which people consider really analog for its time. This has no traction control, no nannies whatsoever. And unfortunately, I know some people who have paid the price for that. Okay, so the basics. This is powered by a Ford Lightning truck sourced 5.4 liter supercharged V8, making 550 horsepower, 500 pound-feet of torque. If you're from my generation, you probably saw Jeremy Clarkson driving it with that MAN 550X license plate, so you know it's got 550 horsepower. This car, for a lot of people anywhere near my age, was just a poster car. For me, my dad has always had one in the garage as long as I could remember. He had a silver one that unfortunately he totaled and took his foot. So I'm well aware in this car, especially in these temperatures, to be a little cautious. One really unique thing about this car is how long the gearing is. So this is first gear. We're at 30 miles an hour and we're at 4,000 RPM. I think you can do a 0 to 60 run in this car in first gear, which I don't think you can say that about a lot of cars. Maybe a C7. I had a manual C7. It got close, but I think you had a shift at about 55. That, combined with just how big this car is, it gives it a big Grand Tourer feel, even though it can still handle, I mean, if you watch those Top Gear videos back in the day, Clarkson talked about how great the steering is, and honestly, for a big car like this, it is really good. Size-wise, I think this it feels at least a lot bigger than like my old C8, but old school hydraulic steering, the steering is way better, way better than that. And Clarkson jokes you could feel the lines of the road in the steering. I don't actually disagree with that. It actually is really good steering. It's not quick like a Lotus or a McLaren or probably like a BRZ or an 86, but it's solid and there's a lot of feedback. This instrument panel is absolutely sick. Obviously, it's inspired by the car that's inspired by the GT40, and they just did a perfect job. The seats too, as you can see. And the coolest thing about this car, as Clarkson also said, as I go over the L-line, sorry guys, I was trying to look at the mirror. The coolest thing Clarkson said about this thing is you can see the supercharger belt in your rearview mirror, which I don't think I can the way my rearview mirror is set, actually. Actually, you can't at all because the subwoofer is there. Maybe he didn't have a 4-option car. So on subject, this car has 4 different options. The 4 options for this generation Ford GT are the stripes, which this one does, Centennial white over blue stripes, the Macintosh stereo, BBS wheels, and I think the 4th is calipers. So this cars are silver. I think you can get silver or red, and I'm assuming the stock would then be black. That 500 pound-feet of torque though is immediately evident, even when you try to just get off the line. You use so much, you could just use no throttle honestly so easily. Obviously you can in a lot of cars, but in this it wouldn't take any time, it just gets there to the catch point. So you can just cruise around now, like we are, at 1200 RPM in 4th gear at 40 miles an hour, and it's not lugging at all. If I was in my Lotus, let's say, at anywhere near this RPM, you wouldn't want to be doing that to the car. You'd feel this. This car has the torque just completely filled out and it does not care. I didn't even realize, and this will probably piss a lot of people off, including myself, just crossed over 2,500 miles. And I hate watching cars sit, so I'm not going to try to act like it's great. How many miles? See, you get the thumbs up. Every generation loves this car. This car is just, I don't think anyone hates a Ford GT. But yeah, this just crossed 2,500 miles. I think my dad did like 8,000 miles in his first one, and like, he had his accident in 08 and it was 05, so between 2 and 3 years, and it was February of 08, so between 2 and 3 years, he did like 8,000 miles. This was his dream car as a kid, as it was one, well, the GT40 was his dream car as a kid, as this was our generation's dream car, 100% up there, a poster on the wall. But unfortunately, obviously for him, it's a little scary to drive, and that's completely understandable. So recently, I think this year, this car's been driven 4 times, and all by me, and those are the only 4 times I've driven this car. So if I don't know everything about it, I do apologize. I promise, I am doing my best to keep miles on. On the topic of low mileage though, these low mileage cars, it is absolutely terrible for the car. You're leaving old fuel in there at times. You're not letting any fluids run through the car. Everything's just drying up inside. I've seen a lot of nightmare scenarios with cars that have done this kind of mileage in this many years, and this car always fires up immediately. It starts up quicker than I think any other car we have, even though it's been sitting for months or even maybe at some points a year. I don't think that's ever happened, but it's possible. and it's always perfect. Service can be done at a Ford dealer. There's nothing crazy expensive about it. And now that these cars are what, $500,000 pretty solidly if you look at Bring a Trailer evidence, it's honestly just amazing, the cost of maintenance. I remember we took the Carrera GT, my dad used to have a Carrera GT, we took it in for maintenance, and they charged 10 grand, and we're going through the bill with them, and they literally go, what do you expect, it's $1 million car? And he's like, no, it's a 300, we paid it, you know, way less than that. It wasn't worth $1 million when it was new. And I just think that's insane for a service advisor to say to you, and that's just not going to happen with this car. And that's honestly, people joke like, oh, it's not a great brand, Ford. How is Ford not a great brand? Just because they make everyday cars doesn't mean they can't make the best supercars. So my favorite manual transmission I've ever driven, so a lot of people don't like it, is my Lotus Evora. Quick, tight shifts, and it's not like crazy clinical or anything. These are really short throws. This feels like a muscle, this is very muscle car feel. And between that and your line of sight, it's very muscle car. Also, one thing I gotta think about now, back to it's a fall day, going into winter. This car doesn't, obviously, in 2005-06, have a tire temp gauge. I mean, my dad's brand new Porsche doesn't have a tire temp gauge. I'm just used to it with the McLarens, so I have to go by tire pressure. Wait, doesn't have TPMS. Nope, you have to go by feedback in the wheel. So now we're getting on like a nice twisty back road, and I'm gonna have to just be a little careful. Porsche. I'd rather be in this. Okay, I'm gonna shut up, put the windows down, get you guys a little noise, and enjoy. Car, man, oh my god, this car this big, it still weighs 3,500 pounds, and it's just unbelievable to drive. Let's dodge all this gravel. Same thing back up the hill. I'll shut up, you guys enjoy. The rear's a little tail happy on this thing. Oh my god, what a car. What a freaking car. Obviously I'm not pushing 1010s, this isn't my car, but it's so good to drive. It's so rewarding. Just give a little push, and I don't know if this car has ever actually been pushed relatively, because again, completely justifiably for my dad, he does not want to push this thing. I have always had a lot of nostalgia for this car. I've always had a lot of love for this car, but I don't think I've ever realized how well it drives. It's just a lovely car to drive. Something this big, especially like when I was younger, me driving would just be parking it or something. And just to get it out, it feels so big, yeah, but it shrinks around you so quickly the second you throw into a corner. Even, honestly, I'm just in shock a little bit. For me, I always did, and actually still do in my room, like in a cabinet, have a white and blue, just like this, Ford GT model car. And to be driving this now is just a dream, so thank you to my dad, massive thank you. One thing about the long gearing though, on roads like this where I'm not really trying to speed, you can't really rev it out, because I'm already at 45 there. And yeah. Sorry guys, I'll get you some better noise in a little bit. I'm trying to put myself in the state of mind I would have been in a couple months where I really hadn't driven this car, sorry, a couple months ago. What are the things that surprise you? It's the steering, the feedback's actually really good. Maybe that's not surprising for people that have mostly driven sports cars from the hydraulic steering gauge. Steering's actually really good. The shift, everything's really tight, honestly. It's pretty clinical, because I know, especially, the build quality's not great. Like, it's a little loose. Oh, more loose than I thought. Everything just doesn't feel crazy substantial. But the price point this was at when it was new, you can't judge this as a $500,000 car. You have to judge this as a $150,000 car, which was competing with like 360s, which have the sticky buttons. The interior literally fall apart. This doesn't fall apart. That thing's just a little loose. This, you could see there's like some, I don't know if that's from weather or something, but my brother-in-law said he can get that out when I took him for a drive in this, so he says he gets it out with a little sanding. We'll see. It's so funny because it's a retro design and everything, and the car feels old, especially to me. I mean, you know, I started driving way after this car came out, but just it feels so space age in here. For something about the Macintosh stereo, something just takes you back to the mid-2000s. The engine start button, it actually feels like, it almost feels like someone made a resto mod today, not even in 2005, 06 of the GT40. I think this car is so well done. The exterior lines aged so well, and so did the interior, and I think they will continue to. Honestly, the rear feels pretty good. I think we can get a little sound. Oh my god, all the oil and gas smells. Oh, this car has been used a little bit. That feels so good though, even just half throttle, a little second gear pull. And the torque, especially when you're not in the optimal gear, obviously, is just unbelievable. It doesn't feel really ragged. I mean, obviously the rear slips a little bit, you get into a corner, or you're getting on the gas, just a little correction, and maybe I'm used to driving no traction control just from simulators and stuff a little more than other people, but it's not really an intimidating car to drive at any speed, except maybe parking, because it is wider than a bus. But other than that, it's a pretty gentle giant. Part of that could be the more linear boost, being a supercharger than a turbocharger. I think a turbo one of these would be pretty scary, and obviously they're made and they're fast. Understatement of the year, but they're fast. Not a loud car stock, I'm not gonna lie to you. I will say, on summer tires, 40 degrees, no, I did not floor it in first. I did floor it in second, though. But I don't think that's the best idea. If I know the car better next summer, we'll get, well, obviously I'll know the car better. When I know the car better next summer, we'll get some really good videos in for you guys. There's always walkers and dogs around this turn, so I'm not going to take it flat. Every time I take this car out, when I first go out, I'm like, I just want to put it back away. Obviously I've taken it out because I want to drive it, but I just want to put it back away. I don't want to damage it. I don't want to do anything to it. And then immediately into the drive, I'm like, I don't want to get out. I don't want to put this back in the garage right now. And it doesn't want to go back in the garage right now. It has no interest in that. This is not meant to be a garage queen. Unfortunately, that's what it's turned into. But that is not what it wants. If this isn't your first time on the channel, I know you're probably used to a little more aggressive driving, but with the temps and just the nature of this car and my lack of experience with it, I'm not going to do anything stupid. But I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If not, I apologize, but well worth making just to go for a quick drive in this thing. Okay, getting out just to wrap up. I absolutely love this thing. It's just such an iconic car. Everything about it, the lines of the car, the way it drives, just how low it is, like even compared to the 750 or the Lotus. Look how much lower it is than the Evora, which is a tiny little car. Just what an iconic car. It needs to get driven more. I promise it will be. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one, and see you next time.